Andy Ant was a curious and brave little ant. He lived in a bustling anthill with his family. Andy loved to explore. Every day he dreamt of exciting adventures. He wanted to discover something amazing. One sunny morning, Andy found something incredible. It was an old crumpled map hidden under a blade of grass. The map showed a winding path through the forest. It led to a big red X, which marked a spot called the Hidden Treasure. Andy's heart beat with excitement. He knew he had to find the treasure. He carefully folded the map. Andy decided to set off on his adventure right away. He said goodbye to his family and promised to return soon. Andy followed the map's path. It led him through tall blades of grass and colorful mushrooms. The forest was full of strange and wonderful sights. Andy wasn't scared though. He was determined to find the treasure. Soon Andy arrived at a rushing river. The water flowed too fast for him to swim across. Andy felt discouraged. He sat on a pebble wondering what to do. How could he continue his adventure if he couldn't cross the river? Just then, Andy saw a dragonfly hovering nearby. "Excuse me," Andy called out. "Can you help me? I need to get to the other side of the river." The dragonfly landed gently beside Andy. "Hello, I'm Benny," he said with a friendly smile. "Of course I can help you. Hop on my back." Andy carefully climbed onto Benny's back, holding on tight to his wing. Benny flew them safely over the rushing water. Andy was grateful for Benny's help. "Thank you, Benny," Andy exclaimed. "You saved the day." Benny smiled. "You're welcome, Andy. Good luck on your adventure." Andy waved goodbye to Benny and continued on his quest. The path led Andy up a steep hill. The hill was known as Caterpillar Hill, a place of many challenges and hidden treasures. Andy had heard stories about the hill from his friends, who spoke of its steep paths and slippery rocks. Determined to find the treasure rumored to be at the top, Andy set off on his adventure. This hill was covered in slippery rocks. Each step Andy took was met with resistance as the rocks shifted beneath his feet. The path was treacherous, and it seemed like the hill was determined to keep its secrets hidden. Andy's heart pounded with both excitement and fear as he continued his climb. Andy tried to climb, but he kept sliding back down. No matter how hard he tried, the slippery rocks made it nearly impossible to gain any ground. He could feel his energy draining with each attempt, but he refused to give up. The thought of the treasure waiting at the top kept him going. It was just too difficult to climb alone. Andy realized that he needed a new strategy. He paused to catch his breath and think, maybe there was another way to approach this challenge. He looked around, hoping to find something that could help him. Andy sat down, feeling defeated. He had come so far, but the top of the hill still seemed out of reach. He wondered if he had made a mistake in coming here alone. The stories of the treasure had filled him with hope, but now he felt only frustration and doubt. Was the treasure just too hard to reach? Andy's mind raced with questions. He thought about the tales he had heard, and the people who had tried and failed before him. Was he destined to be just another one of those who couldn't make it to the top? Suddenly, Andy heard a voice. It was faint at first, but it grew louder and clearer. He looked around, trying to find the source of the voice. It was coming from somewhere nearby, but he couldn't see anyone. "Need a hand? Or should I say, a leg?" The voice was cheerful and full of energy. Andy was surprised and curious. Who could it be? He stood up and looked around more carefully. It was a caterpillar named Carly. She was small but seemed confident and friendly. Carly had a bright smile and a twinkle in her eyes. She looked like she knew her way around the hill. She was slowly but surely inching her way up the hill. Carly moved with a steady rhythm, her many legs working in perfect harmony. She made it look easy, and Andy felt a glimmer of hope. "I'm trying to reach the top of the hill," Andy explained, "but it's too slippery." Carly listened carefully, and then smiled. She seemed to have an idea that could help Andy. Maybe, just maybe, with Carly's help, Andy could finally reach the top and find the treasure he had been searching for. "Don't worry, I'll help you," Carly exclaimed with a determined look on her face. She knew that Andy needed her help to reach the top of the hill where the treasure was hidden. Carly had always been resourceful and quick thinking, and this time was no different, Carly said. She used her many legs to create a chain, like a staircase. Each segment of her body aligned perfectly, forming a sturdy path for Andy to climb. The caterpillar's legs moved in unison, creating a rhythmic pattern that was both mesmerizing and efficient. Carly's ingenuity was truly remarkable. Andy carefully climbed up Carly's back, reaching the top of the hill. He took each step cautiously, making sure not to lose his balance. The view from the top was breathtaking, with the landscape stretching out as far as the eye could see. Andy felt a surge of excitement and anticipation. He thanked Carly and looked around. The hilltop was covered in lush green grass, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Andy's heart raced as he scanned the area, searching for any sign of the treasure. His eyes finally landed on a familiar symbol. There, in front of him, was the big red X from the map. The symbol was etched into the ground, marking the exact spot where the treasure was buried. Andy's hands trembled with excitement as he approached the X, his mind racing with thoughts of what he might find. Andy dug into the soft earth and pulled out a small wooden chest. He slowly opened it. The chest was old and weathered, its surface covered in intricate carvings that hinted at its ancient origins. As the lid creaked open, Andy's eyes widened in anticipation. Inside, there were no gold coins or jewels. Andy's initial disappointment was palpable, but he quickly realized that the true treasure might be something far more valuable than material wealth. Instead, there was a book filled with amazing stories and a magnifying glass. The book's cover was adorned with intricate designs, and its pages were filled with tales of adventure, wisdom, and wonder. The magnifying glass, though simple in appearance, seemed to hold a special significance. Andy knew that this treasure was meant to be shared, to inspire and enlighten others. He smiled, realizing that the journey had been worth it, and that the true treasure was the knowledge and stories he had discovered. Andy realized that the real treasure wasn't gold or jewels, but knowledge and friendship. He had embarked on this journey with the hope of finding riches, but what he discovered was far more valuable. The bonds he formed with his companions were priceless. Each friend brought something unique to the table, and together, they created a tapestry of experiences that Andy would cherish forever. He had faced challenges, but with the help of his new friends, he had succeeded. Whether it was crossing a raging river, climbing steep mountains, or navigating through dense forests, they did it all together. Each obstacle they overcame strengthened their bond and taught them the importance of teamwork. Andy realized that he could never have done it alone. It was the collective effort that made their journey successful. Andy learned that bravery wasn't about doing things alone. It was about having the courage to admit when you needed help, and the wisdom to accept it. He remembered the times when he felt overwhelmed, and how his friends were always there to support him. They taught him that asking for help was not a sign of weakness, but a testament to one's strength and understanding. True bravery was about asking for help when you needed it. Andy saw how his friends were always ready to lend a hand, no matter the situation. They showed him that everyone has their moments of doubt, and that it's okay to lean on others. This realization made Andy feel more connected to his friends, and more confident in facing future challenges. Andy returned to his anthill, eager to share his adventures and the amazing stories he found. He couldn't wait to tell his fellow ants about the incredible journey he had been on and the lessons he had learned. The stories of bravery, friendship, and teamwork would inspire everyone in the anthill. Andy knew that his experiences would encourage others to seek their own adventures and form their own bonds of friendship. He knew that no matter what challenges he faced in the future, he could always count on his friends. The journey had taught him that true strength lies in unity, and that with friends by his side, he could overcome any obstacle. Andy felt a sense of peace, knowing that he was never alone, and that his friends would always be there to support him. And they would always be there to help him along the way. The bond they shared was unbreakable, and their friendship was a source of endless joy and strength. Andy looked forward to many more adventures with his friends, knowing that together, they could achieve anything. The journey had ended, but the story of their friendship was just beginning.